Okay, so again, you won a 7-Eleven though, sis. Like that is crazy.
And people think it's free. Like I want to make that very clear. Like they waived a lot of the fees, but you still have to pay the franchising fee. So you still got to have a little bit of money in the bank to like be able to do it.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah. So you still have to pay the franchising fees, but like the building costs were waived, which don't get me wrong, 7-Eleven, shout out to them because the building cost is what is the biggest cost of everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got it. And a year later, I opened up in 2018 and I just kind of hit the floor running.
Did you know what you were doing?
Absolutely not. So
welcome to The Dash. You know, The Dash is that tiny line between your life start date and end date. It's your story, the chapters in your book, your journey. Get ready for real conversations with real people telling real stories about the realities of failure, setbacks, and success. Let's go. Let's go.
We're rolling. Let's go. The Dash in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Dash Podcast. Oh, boy, let me tell you, I have an interesting story that we're going to share with you today, which I'm excited about. Like, I need to sit next to this woman because when I tell you she has the best luck in the world. But before we get into who our guest is, please do me a favor, click and subscribe. Please subscribe. I appreciate everybody who has. Also share, comment, like the video if you like what you hear, if you like what you're seeing. And thank you so much in advance for your support. I really, truly appreciate it. Y'all, it is hard to grow YouTube and podcasts. Y'all have no idea. So everybody that has jumped on the bandwagon so far, thank you. And thank you for everybody who's going to. All right, our next guest, y'all, her story is so freaking dope, okay? Her name is Alyson Rae Lawson. I wish I could interact with people and they guess what you do for a living because nobody would look at you and know what you do. But she is the owner of not one, but 2 7-Eleven.
yes.
Wow. Yes, Black Girl Magic.
Thank you.
I love it. Okay. So, first of all, you look like you barely old enough to get into a 7-Eleven. We're not even going to get on that.
I get carded still. So
you do?
Yeah.
That's a blessing. I can't wait to share with everybody how you got your 7-Eleven because it's such an astonishing story. But before we, get into that, let's back up just a little bit. Okay. Before you were the owner of a 7-Eleven, who is Alyson Rae Lawson?
Alyson Rae Lawson was a regular, smegular girl from Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
I went to school at Bishop Dunn. And I remember my mom telling me that, like, you're going to get out of the state. You're going to go somewhere to school. And you're going to make something of yourself. And that's kind of what I did. I went to Hampton University in Hampton, Virginia. And then I came back here. My first job was at the city of Dallas in the budget office. And I remember they said anybody who wants to be anything at the city of Dallas needs to start off in the budget office.
Okay.
And that's exactly where I started off. And I loved it. And I stayed in government. I moved back to Virginia. Then I moved to Houston.
That's good
indecisive.
though. I admire people that can move around like that.
Yeah, I moved like every year. Even if it was like from city to city, I still decided to move every year. And I think I was like, you know what? I moved to Houston and I was on top of the world. I had a great job, what I thought was a great job. And I worked for a subsection of a car company. Mm-hmm. And it was the good old boys club. Like, nobody respected me. I felt like I was set in a corner to do absolutely nothing.
Wow.
I felt completely 100% disrespected, like on so many different levels. And at that point I realized that, like, this just isn't for me. I don't know if like corporate America is for me or not, but I know that like this specific place is not for me. And to backtrack, my mom is a realtor and an amazing one. I've seen her build her own little empire and I absolutely love her for it. My father franchised 3 McDonald's in the Oak Cliff area growing up.
Really? So you came from entrepreneurial world.
Exactly.
But
I
then
never
here you
wanted
are
it.
but here you are with the 9 to 5.
Yeah. And I never even thought about like them being entrepreneurs. I never thought about like what they did was cool. Like, I just thought they did their thing. I'm doing my own path.
For sure.
And it wasn't until like I got to that company that I was like, let me just look into being an entrepreneur. Let me look into franchising. And 7-Eleven just kind of fell in my lap. Like, they just had the best deal at the best time in what was going on for women. So.
Okay, no, we ain't gonna say that. It was a little, look, it was a lot of bit of favor involved.
It was.
Okay, so you have to tell everybody, because people are probably out there like, golly, you were at a job you didn't even like. There's no way that you saved up all this money to buy your first 7-Eleven. So tell everybody how you actually got your first 7-Eleven.
Okay, so I reached out to 7-Eleven and I told them that I wanted to, see about purchasing a franchise. And every franchise.
First of all, why 7-Eleven?
I reached out to everybody. Like, everybody's like, why did you pick 7-Eleven? I'm like, who says I picked 7-Eleven? Like,
they picked you.
Yeah, like I wanted Chick-fil-A shit. Like,
but hold on, how are you gonna do that? And your dad owns McDonald's.
Look, I go where the money is. Chick-fil-A makes a lot more money.
They do.
And so like I reached out to every franchise, like just trying to figure out like where I could get in to fit in, And it just so happened that like I reached out to 7-Eleven. They had some little gas station that I could afford, and I was like, you know what? Like I want this gas station. And the guy kept saying like, no, you want a gas station that you can make money off of. Like you want to get like he just kept saying it. His name is Randy. To this day, I love Randy. But he's like, you need a place where you can make money. He's like, there's a 7-Eleven's having this women in franchising contest. And the year before that, they had a military contest. And they were like, you enter this contest. And people think that like it was just luck. Like I just entered a contest and they were like, ooh, you. Like, no, like it was a lot of work. Like we had to make sure, and we went through the same franchising rules that other franchisees went through. Because at the end of the day, you're going to own a store, right? And they don't want you to own a store and you don't, like, they wouldn't have picked you anyway.
Right. So what are so you entered this contest, but what are some of the, look, she said franchising rules, like we know what that is. Ain't none of us ever owned a franchise.
Look, I'm still confused with the rules. Look, but the good thing about franchises is that they walk you through the entire process.
Okay.
So it's like background checks, credit checks, financials. Like they literally scraped you like they're the IRS. You know what I mean? Because essentially they're gonna sell you one of their stores. It's gonna be yours.
Don't stop playing, because there's a lot of people that's like, dang, background checks, that ain't gonna ever be me. Just wait, just keep listening.
Oh yeah, don't ever stop. Look, 'cause in my head, I'm thinking like, there's no way. Like, I don't even have enough business acumen to even get a store. But like, you look at other people who own stores, like, really, the only difference is they got money.
Yeah.
Like, I'm well educated, well spoken, huge business acumen, and somebody will get a store over me because they have money. So it's like, it doesn't, whoever you are, different strokes for different folks and different circumstances for different people.
Right.
So I entered the contest. They did all that background stuff for me. They made sure that could be a good franchisee. I mean, like just like in corporate with everything, you had to do a personality test, which I failed the first time.
Wait, what? How do you fail a personality test?
I have failed every personality test I have ever taken in my entire life.
What does that mean? Like, you don't have personality?
Or I just wasn't, like, initially I just wasn't the personality that they thought should run. Look, I have failed every test, so I'm well aware of, like, I mean, the system is rigged, just like standardized testing. Like, the system is rigged.
Girl, that is hilarious.
So I failed the personality test the first time. I took it again. I passed it. And then after that, you had to make a 2-minute video as to why you think you should own a 7-Eleven.
And why did you think you should own a 7-Eleven?
Because the community helped raise me. Like, I want to be that person in the community that people were to me. Dr. Harry Robinson, the president of the African American Museum, he gave me my first job as a junior docent. Leonard Jones, he had 2 golf courses in Dallas. He taught me the game of golf. I went to school on a golf scholarship. Like, these people helped raise me, and I wouldn't be who I was today if these business owners didn't help me. So, like, wow. I want to be able to be that person for somebody else.
Hey, man, I love that. And that's what you said in the video.
Hell yeah, I said it. And they loved it. They ate it up. It was a good video. I spent a lot of money on that video. Some people did it like on their cell phone.
Yeah.
Like, some people did it like on a camera, but like I actually had like a videographer, and I went out and I did it, and I told them, and I asked them, how well did the military people do? And they were like, well, it was all men, and the military people, I think the winner won with 1,000 votes. I won that contest with 46,000 votes. Leave it up to women to show you how to do it. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. I won that contest with 46,000 votes. The second runner up had 36. So we killed it.
It wasn't even, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, video.
Yeah.
Thank God you heard that
voting.
videographer. And
Exactly.
I mean, plus the story is amazing. Your why was amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, you won a 7-Eleven though, sis. Like, that is crazy.
And people think it's free. Like, I want to make that very clear. Like, they waived a lot of the fees, but you still have to pay the franchising fee. So you still got to have a little bit of money in the bank to like be able to do it.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah. So you still have to pay the franchising fees, but like the building costs were waived, which, don't get me wrong, 7-Eleven, shout out to them, because the building cost is what is the biggest cost of everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got it. And a year later, I opened up in 2018, and I just kind of hit the floor running.
Did you know what you were doing?
Absolutely not. So, and that's what's so funny about it is everybody's like, did you ever work? I've never worked in retail. Like I said, my first job was at a museum. My second job was at a golf course. Like I never worked retail before.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? Like I could do, like if I could sit and deal with what they gave me in corporate America, like how hard is this? Oh, it was very hard. For the record, it's very, very hard.
It was a lot harder than
but they
you thought.
give you the training that you need. And I always tell people like entrepreneurship is something that you have to have like within you. And some people say entrepreneurs are made, but like you have to have that spark within you to even be able to do it. So they could teach me all the ins and outs. They could teach me how to do the cash reports. They can teach me how to order. They can teach me like what products will sell. But like if you don't have like a business mindset, you're not going to succeed.
Okay, so what does that mean? To say that you have to have entrepreneurship in you, what does that mean? Like, what are the things that it takes? If people are out there thinking, maybe I should step away from my 9 to 5 because I want to be an entrepreneur, what are the things that it takes to be successful?
That's a good question. Okay, so creativity first and foremost, and I know that I'm a creative person. I'm not creative as in like let me plan this event, like fashion, like that's not me. But like I'm a very think outside the box type of person. Okay. I knew that I was a Black female, and I knew that I could support other small Black-owned businesses. So that's exactly what I did. Like I am the only. Have you ever heard of the McBride sisters?
Yeah.
Wine Collection. I am their largest retailer in America. A gas station. Their largest retailer in America. I am the only retailer
that was intentional.
And I am the only retailer in America to carry the entire Black Girl Magic, McBride sister, She Can, although their entire line, I am the only store in America to sell it.
Wow.
I sold 1,100 bottles in 2 days.
Kudos to you
more than
for
specs,
using
more than all that stuff. Yep.
That's amazing.
Target. Yep.
Okay. So creativity. What else do you need if you want to be an entrepreneur?
But even just like a business mindset, I went in like bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, like wanting to be like the best customer service, like you got to have a little bit of like street in you. Like you can't I just was confused and like, oh, everybody's a good person, everybody's doing this. It's not how it is. Like I tell people, if you go to McDonald's, you get McDonald's type of customers. If you go to Chick-fil-A, you get Chick-fil-A type of customers. If you go to Pappadeaux, you get Pappadeaux. But everybody needs gas. Like you're not just dealing with like a certain caliber of people. You're dealing with everybody because everybody drives a car. So
and even the ones that don't still hang out in front of 7-Eleven.
Still hang out in front of the 7-Eleven. You know what I mean? I stay calling people on them. But yeah, it's like you have to be able to like deal with all different types of people because you never know what types of people are coming or the cons in which they're having or the ways to prevent theft. It's just like it's a whirlwind of things where you have to be like multitasking at all times inside your head.
So what was the one, well, I'll say one. What was the one thing that happened that you were not expecting that you literally was, had to pull out? Okay, now I got to pull out Street Alyson because I was not ready for this.
You know what's so funny?
That caught you off guard.
That caught me off guard. Oh my gosh, so many things just catch me off guard. Let's just talk about like the amount of like, and it really is kind of a sad thing in life, but like the amount of homelessness that there is, and how you try to be so accommodating towards people, but like people say like you, and I hate to use this analogy, but you feed the cats, they come back, So you try to be overwhelmingly nice to somebody because of what they're going through. Then the next thing you know, their whole posse's here, like hanging out on the side, it's a block party. You know what I mean? So like you're nice to one, and they're all like, hey, like this owner, she's super nice, and then next thing you know, you have like a swarm of like people just hanging out. Which
obviously could be uncomfortable for patrons that are coming in. Or
and you don't want to be that type of station. But I've had all types of things. I've had people try to fight me. I've had
why do they want to fight you?
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, why would somebody want to fight me? But like, I always tell people like I'm super nice until I'm not. Like I'm super nice until I'm not. And sometimes you can't always be nice. I've had like FU battles, like people just yelling, like just screaming at me for no reason. But you don't like. Sometimes I probably deserve it, but sometimes it's like you never know what somebody's going through.
Absolutely.
So you just like I think that was the biggest thing because I've never been like thoroughly just cussed out before. You know what I mean? Like
your first time was as a business owner.
Who you talking to? But then you have to remember that you're a business owner and that everything goes on Instagram and everybody pulls out their camera as soon as something happens. So I think that's one of the biggest things now is like not ending up on somebody's camera,
Yeah. And know. She was like, I got to cuss you out as long as you don't have your cell phone.
As long as you don't have your cell phone. Like, so like when you're doing it, like you got to look around and like really go through the room first.
Yeah. Okay, so you win a 7-Eleven.
In 2018.
It was 2018?
2018. Yeah, in fact, you went, and I wish I could have seen you, but I
came to the grand opening.
Yeah,
I did.
Huge.
And I didn't know you. Just for the record, I did not know her, but I heard that there was a black woman that won a 7-Eleven, and I'm like, I don't care who she is. I have to go support. And you're a Delta, so you're a Soror at the same time.
When I found out, I was so excited. I was like, she didn't even say hello.
Because I mean, like when I tell you, you were like the star of the day, and I didn't want to interrupt by being like I was here, but it was really nice. I mean, that y'all were doing a little ribbon cutting, y'all were doing the ceremony. It was the whole thing, and I was just, I don't know, I was just so impressed because I thought it was so cool, and I just, you know, it's just one of those things. I don't have to be seen, but I want to show up and make sure that in spirit, I'm rooting for you because I want it to work out, right?
Yeah.
And obviously it has.
Yeah.
Because you've actually accumulated another 7-Eleven, right? So you're the owner of 2 7-Elevens.
Yeah, so I got my first one October 2018, and then I got my second one December of 2019.
Oh, wow.
And at that point.
That wasn't a contest.
No, I bought that. No, well, my bank account shows I bought that one.
Yeah,
so
okay.
that one was bought. But yeah, so I bought the second one, and like the first one, I wouldn't say the first one was simple to run. The first one just seemed like you thought you were in a good place. And then you get a second one and you're like, you have to have double the staff, double the management, like double the problems. But I mean, I was able to kind of work through the kinks and just find like pretty good, solid people for like, you know, management.
Yeah. And
just kind of work from there. So now I have 2, and I'm not always going to say they're great, but I always say the day that they don't burn down is the day I make money. So
that's awesome. So let me ask you this. Has there ever been a time that you wanted to quit where you were just like, this is too much? Like, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know if I can keep going. I don't know if I could do this. Because sometimes what happens is we watch people that are business owners and we think, well, maybe I made the wrong decision because this is hard.
Right,
this is really, really hard for me. And people get discouraged because, again, they're seeing you as, you know, this business owner that's doing great and thriving every single day and laughing and joking, every once in a while cussing somebody out. But the reality is every day is not easy.
And no day is easy. And that's what I was like, there's no day that's ever easy. I wake up at 4:00 in the morning just to make sure my staff is going to be there. I call every day at 2. I call every day at 5. I call every day at 10. I'm getting woken up in the morning, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Like there's no day that's easy. And I think that people watch me on Instagram and TikTok and they're like, oh, she's having fun. Like I would love to work for her. And then they come work for me and they're like, oh, hell no. Like I don't want to work for her no more because she makes us work. Like it's like it looks all fun and games.
I get it. I tell people that all the time, like with my nonprofit stuff or anything like that. I'm like, please don't get this Lady J character messed up because when it's time for business, we gotta grind. And I'm tough. Like I'm not that all the time.
Like they never expected a little black girl to win. They never expected a little black girl to get a second one. So I tell anybody that I hire, mainly my black people, is that like y'all gotta, like, we have to fight for this. Like we can't just stop. And I don't want people to think at all that like it's just a cakewalk for me, because it's not. Like, you asked me, was there a point where I ever thought that I wanted to quit? Every single day, I'm like, this can't be life. Like me waking up at 4:00 in the morning, me doing this. And that's not every day I wake up at 4:00. So I want to make that very clear that like some days I wake up at 7. Just right now, my management staff isn't what my old management staff was, so the timing is just a little different on the 2. So I have to wake up a little bit earlier now. Maybe next season it'll be 7. Maybe next season I won't have to go in at all. But I think that it's always hard. It's always challenging. I probably cry a couple times a month. I think about selling one of them. I think about selling 2 of them. I don't really know what's next. But like, and I think as an entrepreneur, like you never know what's next, and like you're kind of just living from like day to day.
So why do you keep going then? What makes you keep going?
Honestly, what makes me keep going is 2 things. One, my money's already there. Like if I sell it, it's not like they're about to give me a bunch of money for it. Like I pretty much probably have to break even and walk away, and I'm not ready to do that. 2, I want to make a legacy for my kids. Like I want them to see something. Like me looking at my father every single day, it didn't make me want to be an entrepreneur, but it made me think that like my dad's like the man. Like he owns 3 McDonald's. Like when he walks in, people stand up at attention. Like, you know, like that was something that I love to see. So I want my kids to be able to see it. But I also do it weirdly for my customers. Like I've had customers who've been there since like day one. Like, and they literally tell me every single day, like, we're rooting for you. Like like you're doing this for the culture and we really do appreciate it. And so like those people keep me going. They may not be my why, but they definitely are the people that like keep me going.
But you definitely are doing it for the culture for sure.
I'm trying.
Yeah. And you're doing it so authentically. I love the fact that you're so transparent and like, you know, look, I got to cut somebody out sometimes. You know, every once in a while I may have to put my fist up just so they know I ain't afraid to fight, even though I'm not going to fight you.
Yeah.
And young black girls, young black kids, but especially young black girls, they need to see you.
Yeah.
How many 7-Elevens are owned by a black woman?
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure. I want to say that I know maybe a handful. And that's not to say that there's not a bunch more, but like in Dallas, I don't know many black females. I'm going to say maybe a handful like in this area.
Right.
And there's not many of us, and it's something that like I feel like it's on 7-Eleven. It's something that's on, you know, black women. It's something that like everybody has to have the mindset that like we can do this. Mm-hmm. But also there's a lot of heartache to it. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of money lost. Like when people are like, oh, how do you own a 7-Eleven? I'm not really quick to be like, oh, you need to do this, and this, because I know what I'm going through. And I'm like, okay, I don't necessarily want to put that burden on somebody else. So if somebody ever writes me on social media, it's like, can you teach me how to get a 7-Eleven? I always say, dream higher, dream bigger. Dream
bigger than 7-Eleven.
Yeah. Bigger. Wow. Something that can make you a lot more money with a lot less theft and a lot less heartache. Yeah, dream bigger.
So you don't know what's next?
Never. And I think that's the beauty of it, is that I don't know what's next. I just know that I want to make money.
Amen.
So I don't know. Like I always think that, I always tell myself like, Alyson, they need to put a camera in this gas station and do a reality show off of it, because just the things that we see on a daily basis.
First of all, the things that I'm seeing right here, like your personality, I cannot believe you failed a personality test, sis. Like you have personality, like it's gushing from you. What do you mean? Like
you.
They definitely need to do a reality show, because I can only imagine what we flying out of you.
I'm telling you, I'm a completely different person at work. Like my staff lives for people talking to me crazy, because they're like, oh, I think today's gonna be the day when Alyson does something. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna remain calm today. But yeah, like I don't know what's next, but I know whatever I do next, I want to be myself. You know what I mean? Like sometimes in entrepreneurship, you just like in corporate America, like people think, oh, like I'm gonna stop working in corporate America so I can like rest and be myself. Like you can rest and be yourself, but you still need to be on your P's and Q's at all times, because you now have a brand that you're representing. And so I think that the next thing that I want to do in life, I want it to be my personality, my, you know, like all me.
So what does that mean?
Like, I don't know. I have no idea. Like I have no idea, but I know at the end of the day, like I want to feel good about myself, and I just want to be able to breathe. And I don't know what that is in life. Yeah. I don't know if that's
called selling it for a lot, making a lot of money, and not working.
And that's exactly what I want to do.
And being on vacation for the rest of your life.
That's what I want to do. And I know it's really hard. I just need to I think that I need to be able to get my stories completely in order first and be able to breathe. And then I can figure out what that next step is.
Okay. I love that. I am so happy for you. Are you going to buy any more 7-Elevens?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Does anybody want one 7-Eleven now? I'll sell that to you.
If it's on clearance, I will.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But no, I won't. I think I bought my second one with the intention of me getting a third one. But once I got the second one, I was like, you know what? Like this just isn't like the third. Whenever I went to go buy the third one, the deal fell through. And then I was like, you know what? That was nothing but the Lord. Because the day after that was the snowstorm. And I was like, there is no way on God's green earth that I could have made it up 30 minutes to I-30 to get to my store during this snowstorm. Yeah. So it was like God telling me like, girl, you didn't need that store anyway.
Yeah. So let's be clear. I won't ask you a number, because you're a woman and I want you to be protected at all costs. But how has life changed for you financially? Is it way better than being in corporate America, owning your own 7-Elevens? Like, is the money flowing nice?
No, absolutely not. Like, absolutely not. No, I'm going to say that I'm very comfortable. I'm going to say that I was making more in corporate America, but I was also working for somebody. I will say that I choose to pay myself what I choose to pay myself. I could pay myself what I was making in corporate America, but then if something happens in the store and I've already paid myself that money, then I wouldn't be able to recover. So I choose to keep my money in the store just in case an audit comes or a high theft situation comes or something like that. I have a little bit of padding.
Oh, wow. That's right. You're the owner, so you choose your salary. Mm-hmm. See, that's why everybody can't own. Because let me tell you, let me be an owner and I get to choose my salary. I'm like, oh, y'all getting $7.50 an hour. See,
And
that's why God ain't,
And
God,
I didn't pay
God knows
myself
I'm
like
already.
the first 3 months. I think I was on month 3, and I was like, oh shit, I haven't even paid myself today. Like I didn't even pay myself in the last 3 months. Like let me get on that. You know what I mean? So like you have to set it and you have to keep it, and it just depends on like how high or how low the store does that time. But yeah, you got to make it up for yourself. But I just decided not to pay myself as much because my store is still like my store has to stand. So,
Wow, that takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah. And sometimes I think about going back to corporate America. Let's think about how simple it could be, right? I go to work 9 to 5. I have guaranteed benefits because as an entrepreneur, you got to pay your own benefits, right? I don't care about at 5 o'clock, I cut off my brain because I no longer care. I have a salary that comes every single time. But I think that just kind of what I love about being an entrepreneur is that like it's my time in my business, and I can say that like this is mine and this is my legacy and this is what I can pass down, or this is, I think that is where entrepreneurship comes in, and it's like that's the icing on the cake.
That's good. So have you been on a vacation since you got these 7-Elevens? Honestly.
Have I been on like an actual like layout on the I want to say like, yeah, but I can't be gone for like longer than like 3 days at a time.
See, and that's the part that people don't understand, because it looks like when you're the owner, you get to just pick up and go, and you have, and you've literally told me about, you work 24 hours a day technically.
Yeah. My phone is on all times. And I mean, that's just the entrepreneurship route that I've taken. Some people, I know a girl that I see her traveling all the time, but because she can do hers as she travels. So it just depends on what you choose. But a lot of people who choose like brick and mortars, like that's the reality of it. Like you have to be extremely strong. So you may not be able to get a vacation the first 2-3 years.
Yeah.
I didn't miss a family holiday though. Like I'm still gonna go see my family in Kansas. Like I'm still gonna go, do those types of things. But like a flat out vacation, no. No.
Wow.
And I'm a traveler. Like if my passport's not getting stamped a year, it's a problem. So
Well, okay. Last question.
Mm-hmm.
You work at 7-Eleven. You own 2 7-Elevens.
Okay.
Do you at least get free gas?
No.
Oh my gosh! Like, jeez, I cannot. Like, what is the point, Alyson? Why are we here?
That is exactly my point. Why are we here, Alyson? And I say that to myself all the time. How did we get? I bet you're wondering how I got here. No, I don't get free gas, but I do charge my gas to the store.
Okay.
So I will say that. But no, like the gas doesn't belong to me. It belongs to Shell and it belongs to Exxon, and I get a certain percentage of it.
Dang, no free gas. Do you at least get free Arizona teas? Like,
I can go grab it off the shelf, but eventually when they do an audit, I'm going to have to pay for it.
oh my gosh. Like, well, note to self, I do not want to own. Okay, all right.
No.
Well, thank you so much. We are wishing you so much luck. To those that are local in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we want to make sure we support your stores. So tell everybody where your stores are located. Again, we support Black-owned businesses. We support minority-owned businesses, period. But please, this woman is working really hard. Her why is beautiful. Her spirit is beautiful. So let's go make sure that we support these 7-Eleven. So where are they located?
I'm located at 100 East Interstate 20 and 700 West Interstate 20 in Arlington, Texas. They are on the corner of Matlock and 20. There's 2.
So you have 2 across the street from
Across the street from each other.
Why
yeah.
do people do that?
The gas stations were already there. I just bought my competition, but it's traffic going one way and traffic going back.
Oh.
Yeah. So like whenever you're making a road trip and you see there's like a Buc-ee's and like there's like
you don't want to turn, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like it's covered on all sides.
That was genius, because I always say, like, why would they have 2 of the same thing, right? Oh my gosh,
People
you're
who go
smarter than me. You
this
see
way.
why I don't have one. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where I'm located, at the corner of Matlock and 20 in Arlington, Texas. And then also follow me on Instagram.
Yes.
At the number 7 spelled 11_Rae RAE Lawson LAWSON.
Yes, you're gonna have a lot of fun watching her on Instagram and TikTok and all that good stuff. So please support this woman. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I don't care what the personality test says. Baby, you got it. And we are rooting for you.
Thank you.
Just keep up the great work.
Thank you. And thank you for all your support too.
Yeah, thanks for coming today.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for the support. Make sure you subscribe to the Dash Podcast YouTube channel. Also, we're available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. And feel free to share with some family and friends. Thanks, guys.